Cycloptic California quails with submarine hips and cyberpunk motorcycle and helmets. Bright neon blue ligrises climbing out of the molten mesopranic ashtrays, hematoid, autocephaloid, bootstrapping, gossamer, Looney Tunes playgrounds of bubblegum rendezvous. On this ecosophical boatskin harlequin, for which my solitudinarian and quietudinarian breviarian purple solstice in a graveyard of platonic forms and Mainongan jungle Zapotec beans. Argilent psychoelectrical Sasquatches, Zapotec Zapadiados, intergalactic meritocracies of conviviums, from where I nail the cross, yoking the rosettes of the neon emerald ligress, magniloquence, and the goddesses have reigned upon the parades of Montenegro and Serbia. I'm not a junkyard Venusian sempiternal camera. Out of lovemaking, you immortalize. Out of making love, you metempsychoticize. The thanatopsis of this weaving of cerebralized Carthago words. The heraldic revolution has knitted all the clandestine and Eglantine geneocracies, slabbing the hooded framework of networked cyberpunk, cycloptic, submarine hipped, and knuckle-wrenched warthogs. The heroine of ecstasis, mere topology and megaphology of this Darwinian ape-woman heraldress, for which this empress terrors the geneocracy upon these flagrant demiurgic civilizations and anti progressivist fascism, for which this is the gorgeous catharsis. I kiss the tubule and tuber framed network of abysses, for which the end of the the end of the abstract cortex, which transverbalizes the gnawing of these Heraclitean vomiting of keychains and glove boxes and coffee cups through deliriums of Scrabble logicians. The junkyard queen for its ossification of sempiternal Ankara Madorization, this priestess of this ossified obscurantism through Minon's jungle of titanium jingle bells. Jingle bells in July, first the antediluvian twisting in a carnivorous fruitarian sea of cycloptic gorgons, for which I antique the mires of the wiry wombs of ecstasis spermatozoa, for which the rubbery intimacies are dishclothed in a squeezed out succulent dream catcher, for which this emanationism and this illuminationism through all the hyper-timeless space and timeless time, through the somnambulists of inveterate meat-eating on school buses, which boat in the boomkin of this opulent, ossified opal Métis and Navajo confabulation conjugation, for which this architrave of the crazed labyrinth, through which this iron greased out blue star in a werewolf's mouth is twisted into the entrails of a red leaf and maple leaf, which is cerebralized apophenia. There's soaked Scrabble letters written on the bowels of the kaleidoscopic foreheads, soaked in the greasiest carburetor sweat of the philosophical zombie ziggurat, for which this bacchanalian Aristotelian, quarrelsome and quiddative, iridescent shackling of the meat-eating cybernetic chocolate cake clowns of 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 Pythagorean storm chasers and tornadoes, space tornadoes, which stupefyingly grease out the blood-soaked elk sweat, which twist into the columns that Jacanape and Jacinda, the purple spermatozoa sperm, in a gothica of cigarette robed egrets, as I, the Medusae, bearded neutron star, but don't let the the leukocytes of the skies, for which these bloodless rabbis are knitting the rubbery lanterns of the gnosis, as we twist upon this beautiful, bloodiest passionate kiss, for which you and I will descend into the rapid bloody sweat of the bowels of ecstasis, for which this Lebed's world pounding the serpentine, laughing werewolves, as blue as the moon, and as neon green as the sun, through which these sandstorms and dreamscapes are twisting through the marigold and magnolias, as this arboretum of a neurasthenic catharsis, with the bloodiest soaked wooden Philistines ride into this bellious, odiferous, rabid sea of hummingbird shackled windows, hummingbird grizzled windows, as a Shakespearean trip to Andromeda begins in a matter of zeptoseconds to make the passionate consummation between the dawn rise of the first hyper-philosophical and hyper-surrealist dream catcher to 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 seat buckle an omnigonic pyramid twisted into the serpentine, bloodiest, ossified champagne and red wine, as the prophetess woman is in the shower stall, and the violet medusae tons neutrino and tachyon homunculi stars in the gardenias and herbariums of adolescence and prodigal magisterial childhood, and the carnivorous pescatarian sea has been heatedly blazed for the Yuletide of this bleeding marbled Venusian statue, as it descends into this bottomless rabbit pit or rabbit hole wormhole where the skyscrapers of wildflowers as tall as the omniverse and beyond all the space-timeless omniverses and timeless metaverses labyrinthically twist in the basket woven, beautiful, passionate, consummatory. Rhinoceros, jugular, and out, foxglove, purgatory, and exemplary, omnichromatical, hyperphrenia, ecstasis. Thank you.